Hey guys, so today we're gonna see how we can build a price tracker for various products on Amazon. All right, so we're gonna go and look for something in Amazon. Let's say shampoos is what I've already sort of selected in my head, uh, and then look for various products and see if we can track prices between them. Right, so I'm gonna look at all these prices, so the different prices, and if we can get that right. So to do this, we're going to use Python and Beautiful Soup, and I've already sort of built the boilerplate code so that all this I can't sit and type, guys. So what's happening here? I'll quickly explain. We are basically loading the BS4, which is the Beautiful Soup 4 library, and importing Beautiful Soup, and also importing requests. Pardon me, which is a part of Python by default. The request model will get the data, and Beautiful Soup will actually help us parse it. We're passing a user agent here so that we can pretend to be a browser, and then the URL, and then passing the user agent as part of the headers. Right, the URL already contains shampoo, so I already put that in. And here, Beautiful Soup has been passed the result response content and asked it to pass it as an XML document, which we can query using select statements now. All right. So let's actually get into it now. Let's see if we can make sense of this. So here, first thing I do always is to get into the Chrome inspector. And inside of this, I'm always, almost by default now, just by experience, I tend to look for this entire sort of something. Yeah, I can see that. Something that holds the entire piece of item that I need. Not just, I don't want to go straight into, some people actually try to scrape the titles. Then you'll be all over the place. The best way to approach this is to divide this one big HTML document into small HTML documents, one which has only this data, one which is, so if we can divide it, this should be the first division that needs to happen. That means all these items should be contained in different pieces of HTML for me. Then I feel safe about curing it. So I'm always seeing what is it that holds all of this together, right? What's the most sensible way to split this in a way into um, some sort of results, right? Um, and we have to be very careful of not overlapping anything ever. Right, so here we go. I'm just going to fold these. Okay, all this is still part of something big. And it seems okay. What is that? Yeah, so if you look at this, these seems to be the result items, isn't it? You can almost see the grid as well. And each of those search result 7, search result 8, it keeps going like that. And I would not go with that because that keeps changing in numbers. So what is it that stays constant here? If I really look at it, these divisions have all these class definitions, and very carefully if you look at something that makes sense here for me, which is S result item. S result item keeps move, for all of this remains the same. So that's something I feel that will be reliable. It also is human readable and makes sense. Don't think it's going to change. And I'm going to copy that and put that here. That will be the class of that division. I'm going to pull that out and split everything based on that. So let's actually, before that, just sort of use our soup library and the select command to actually get the class. So that's the operator for class. This is the operator for hash is the operator for ID. And then you can even call by tags. For example, you can call the h3 tags, h2 tags, just like that. So it will select everything and give us in an array. So what I'll do is I'll just take this and say, hey, anything which has the class dot that, give it to me. And because it's an array, we need to process the array by saying, opening a for loop for item in this array, print item. Okay, probably we should put a try catch there, but we're gonna do that in a minute. So I'm gonna call this price tracker Amazon. .py, save it, and see what happens. I'm going to put a separator here because I know this will be a lot of gibberish otherwise, to see if we can get some sort of division between the divisions. So what did I name it? Price tracker Amazon. I'm just going to clear this and I'll call Python 3 price tracker Amazon.py. Oops. Let's go. Okay, so straight away we see some results and see if you see the division here. And if you look at it, it is contains the class result item, which is what we want. Yeah, and this is the result item. Now I can query within this, so you can see the you can see the name here coming up of the shampoo, of some shampoo. So it feels like we are inside now, and so what I can do is now just query the item rather than the entire soup and select things within it. So I can use the select command again over here and select within that scope, which means that I can play and make errors within it. Now let's go back and see if we can extract some one more piece of data within it now. I would suggest, why don't we extract the, yeah, I think we can extract yes. So if you look at this, this is the title and it seems to be an H2 class, H2 tag. So H2 is very rare. So if you use it for that, I don't think they'll use it for anything else. Always a safe thing to scrape directly. H2, just I'll call it that, no class required. And this will always give out an array, remember that? So there is only one H2 though, so but it will give out an array, as an array object at least. So we still have to call it by the first item of a pretend array that we're gonna all pretend exists. It'll only always have one item, but the Python script doesn't know that. So it always safety is to give you an array. And then we're gonna just get the text of it and see if we can print the title. Isn't that a great achievement? If we can just print all the titles, let's see what happens. I'll remove the other HTML. There you go. Beautiful, isn't it? So these are all you can see is the names of the shampoos. Okay. So let's see if we can pull out some more data now. What else? The price. We should get straight to the price, should we? All right, let's do that. I hear some of you saying, yeah, let's do that. Here we go. And now there's a lot going on here. There's something called span class A price, Amazon price, I guess, and then all sorts of other things within it. But I'm already interested in the first one, which is A off screen, which shows me the actual price here, right? So I can just get to that straight. So let's see if I can get to that straight over here. Off screen, but I think off screen I saw being used somewhere else just now. So just to be sure, I will call a price and then a off screen within it. Okay, so that's how you sort of double when you're a little confused about things being around too much. Then you can just say, hey, I'm gonna make sure that I don't scrape something weird and confuse myself. So I'm going to copy the first father of this, which is a mother, a price, a price, and first of all dot a price, and then the sort of the child of this is dot a off screen. Okay, I'm just gonna copy that so that I don't make a mistake here. All right, and then I'll get the text of it. Boom. Let's see if it prints the prices. We are here to track prices, so let's see if we can get that. Oopsie. Text is not there. That's because that's an array, and we forgot to call the first element of the array. That's why saying there's no attribute get text. But now that it, okay. See, there's an error, but you can see the results here, which is the pricing. But at some point, it dies. Okay, because the H2 was not found. Because sometimes this particular assault item doesn't even have a title, it's used in some haphazard manner. So it's always in these cases best to put this in a try catch because we don't need anything anyway which doesn't have a H2, do we? So I'm just going to put that and then call accept exception e. Oops, is that how it is? I think E is capitalized. Yep, exception as E, sorry. And then we don't do anything about it. So I'm just going to print an empty thing here just to trick the interpreter to go away. All right, so that error should be done away with. And we'll get yes, we'll get a clean boom, boom, boom. Okay, so if you see there's a line gap between them, so we can eliminate that by doing a strip command here, which will strip out all the extra line feeds and stuff like that, hopefully. I think we'll have much better looking. Yeah, look at that. Okay, all those line feeds and tabs gone. The strip command does that. And what else can we get? Can we get, okay, sometimes there's the earlier price. Can we get the earlier price? That'll be valuable. And we can stop at that. Here we go. So again, the earlier price is a product of a text price, which is different from a price for some reason. And then there's something called A off screen, which is where I saw it. A off screen was there, A off screen was here. So there are two A off screens, but in this case, it's A price. In this case, A text price. So let's call A text price. I think that's sufficiently. And then the child of that, which is, um, yeah, A text price is what we should call. Okay. And then its child. So in fact, let's just replace that with this. A price becomes A text price, and A off screen, I think, is the child. So that should give us the original price. Okay, let's see if it does without sort of the strike through. Yeah, there you go. Not always, because sometimes the price remains the same, but otherwise the original price is always higher, as you can see, and then there is this the sort of the discounted price. All right. So this can be put into the database, and we can run this every minute and scale this. Right. This is how you build a basic price tracker using Beautiful Soup. But you're not done. In fact, if you want to scale this, make sure a couple of things happen. One is the user agent is changing all the time. So get an array of this and then keep changing it. You will find them online by just Googling user agent strings list, and you're going to get a bunch of those, put them in a file or something, and randomize them. The other is use a proxies rotation proxy service, like, I don't know, maybe the one that I have, which is Proxies API. I own this, and what you do is you just go here, get yourself a API key, which is completely free, 1,000 API calls per month with no credit card required. You will get the API key and just pass everything to my API endpoint here. And in fact, the entire Amazon URL will be passed as just a parameter to it, and it will pass you through a pool of about a couple of million proxies, so you'll never really fail. And even if it does, you will not know because we'll automatically retry it till we get you the data. We'll solve captchas, we'll solve browser entities. You don't even have to do anything about that. We'll do that. We'll handle cookies and all those other things which you need to do to be able to actually get the data. We know quite a lot about that now, and we built all of that, a wrapper around all of that, and on a highly scalable infrastructure, which serves millions of URLs per day right now. Automatically solve captchas. We also render it at this moment. The pages, if there is JavaScript in Ajax format, we can render it and get you the content which is created after the JavaScript is fetched. So we can do that as well. So there you go. That's if you really want to scale it. Otherwise, I hope you still enjoyed this. I had to tell you that that's what it's really needed at production level. Otherwise, have fun. Thank you very much.